The brief that we got from the clients was they were looking at a courtyard home on 2000 square feet south-facing lot in West Bangalore. The idea was to translate the overall language of Totti Mane, which we also love and we have all experienced, and try and bring that in dense urban neighborhood. The effects of traditional architecture intertwined with modern aesthetics, clean minimal lines, but also going back and using techniques that in some sense are age-old with a modern twist. Hi, I'm architect Shravan Pradeep.
Hi, I'm architect Megha Nanayan.
And we are principals at NVR Studio, Bangalore.
Please join us for an exclusive tour of the Ridge House in Bangalore. To watch premium videos and access PDF ebooks with the house plans, log on to buildofy.com. The link is in the description below.
We had a tree right in the middle of the property. Our primary motive was always to retain the tree. At no point did we ever think that the tree needs to go.
Apart from, just the trunk of the tree which you interact with at a pedestrian level, when you go up onto the balcony of the first floor, you interact with the foliage.
It's a 60 feet by 40 feet site. It is south facing. The total build-up of the whole property is 3,500 square feet. The ground floor was a rental. So this was extended as a podium for this house over here to shine. The entry was a common entry which was in this direction. 2 car spots were provided. A single flight that went up this way along the periphery of the site. This was done so that we can maximize the floor plate on the first floor. The program of the house eventually fit around these 2 halves along this axis.
The foyer to the home became a transition between the outside and the inside. The home almost has 2 foyers. One becomes the pause point from the steps that lead up to the home, and the other becomes the internal foyer. So one of the things that we thought of doing was to sync this foyer.
So you come into a recessed foyer, you take a couple of steps up, you are then introduced in this direction to the living. The living not only had a connection to the court, but it also got a small little private balcony. This became a buffer zone from this road onto the living room. So the jaalis that have been designed in this house plan towards the southern part of the house. What we are trying to create here is a grid using the same tile. So there is a horizontal member. On the joints of the horizontal member, the same vertical member has been placed, and at every alternate element has been turned by 45 degrees. Everything in the middle, which we call as either a buffer space or we would call it our transitional spaces, eventually became the court. It is defined by the difference of textural elements. The flooring on the inside is leather finish tile as opposed to this being cobblestone. The courtyard also has a large skylight so as to facilitate natural daylight for the plants. Now in this quadrant we bought in the kitchen with the utility. By due proximity and also due to services, the powder room got inserted here. Coming into the southwest quadrant, since we had to adhere to basic principles of Vastu, the space in between was we inserted a very narrow and a compact staircase. The second floor is equally divided along this axis now. We've got in the family room that comes in here. A larger master bedroom was inserted here. We had some additional loft space that was being created above this zone. This was a pure through and through double height. This gave us an opportunity to insert a small little internal balcony. So one is now able to experience these trees at the canopy level. The trees were the buffer in some sense when one entered in the foyer below.
What really helped in terms of tying all these things together and kind of working with the visual language was definitely where the material aspect of the home comes into play. So the idea was to kind of create a neutral palette for them to fill the colors of their life into this space.